The story begins with a young girl returning home late at night from the office. There was only one taxi on the road and some boys got in, so she had to walk alone. As she entered a dark alley, a van suddenly stopped in front of her, and a driver named Doshi tried to offer her a lift, but she refused and continued walking. Soon after, she heard strange noises. When she turned around, she saw the van's door open, and she could hear someone crying and asking for help. She approached the van and saw some clothes and a man's corpse inside. The voices were actually coming from Doshi himself, who suddenly grabbed the girl and pulled her inside so she couldn't escape. A while later, Doshi changed his clothes and called the police. When two officers arrived, he pretended to be scared and pointed to the spot where he had dumped the body. He lied, saying he saw some laborers attacking the girl. A few days later, a girl named Kim was working in her office. She was deaf, so she communicated with other deaf customers via video call and helped them with their issues using sign language. One day after work, she went out to dinner with her colleagues. Unable to converse, the men started making fun of her, using foul language, thinking she couldn't hear them. However, Kim was skilled at reading lips, so she made some rude gestures back to get her revenge. Later, she went to pick up her deaf mother from her job at a tailor shop. Her mother was very happy because she had received a good salary that month, and they planned to go to the beach for a nice vacation. Meanwhile, in another part of the city, a girl named Choi was getting ready to go out with her friends. But her brother, Young, who had become overly protective after their parents' death, was unhappy with her short clothes and wanted her to return home before dark. Choi promised to come back early, but later ignored Young's messages. When she didn't answer her phone, Young decided to go find her himself. It was late at night, and Doshi was out looking for his next victim. He noticed that Kim had dropped her mother off on the street and went to park the car, so he followed Kim. But then he saw Choi in the alley and decided to attack her instead. He suddenly jumped on Choi, and no one noticed because Kim's mother was deaf. After attacking Choi, Doshi moved towards Kim's mother, but just then, Young arrived and asked Kim's mother about his sister. After Young left, Kim was returning from the parking lot when she noticed a white shoe in the dark alley. Someone was crying for help, but Kim couldn't hear them. Then, another shoe dropped, and when she went inside, she saw Choi covered in blood, pleading for help. Suddenly, Doshi jumped on Kim, but Choi pushed him away so Kim could escape. Kim ran to the parking lot, hid among the cars, and reached the back door. The latch made a lot of noise, so she tried to open it quietly. Hearing the noise, Doshi arrived, but just in time, Kim managed to open the door. The door was chained from the outside, so it didn't open fully, but Kim was thin enough to slip through, leaving Doshi stuck. Kim got into her car and called her mother, telling her to stay put. But when Kim looked back, she saw Doshi sitting in the back seat with a knife. Doshi ordered her to drive, but Kim crashed the car into a wall and managed to escape. Doshi chased after her, but Kim reached her mother and hit the street alarm button. Two of them waited for the police, while Doshi returned to his van. He hid Choi in the van and changed into a businessman's disguise. Doshi then approached Kim and her mother, who didn't recognize him because he had worn a mask and hat earlier. Doshi pretended to be looking for his sister, and Kim led him to the dark alley. But just then, the police arrived. They found the alley empty, but Kim said the truth would be revealed through security cameras. However, the parking lot guard informed them that some mischievous kids had disabled the cameras. The three of them were taken to the station to file a report. In the elevator, Doshi kept glancing at the weapons in his bag while staring at Kim and her mother. This made Kim's mother suspicious, but then Doshi showed them a fake message on his phone, saying his sister was safe. Later, Kim gave her statement, but without a body or identifying the killer, the police couldn't do much. Suddenly, a crazy old man started insulting Doshi, who quietly insulted him back, provoking the old man to attack him. In the scuffle, Doshi's white phone fell and Kim's mother picked it up. Police then took the old man away, and Doshi took back his phone, using the opportunity to memorize Kim's home address from her statement. Kim's mother told Kim that Doshi had two phones, which made Kim suspicious. Doshi then began checking his weapons again, just as Young arrived with a police officer, saying his sister was missing. The officer asked him to show Choi's picture to the others. Doshi lied, claiming he hadn't seen Choi, but Kim immediately recognized her and handed Young her statement to read. Crazy old man barged in again, and the police took him away. Seeing his chance, Doshi threatened Kim's mother, showing her the weapons in his bag, and then approached Kim with a knife. But Kim's mother managed to raise the alarm, and Young suddenly grabbed Doshi's knife. They started fighting while Kim and her mother ran to call the police. Doshi confessed to attacking Choi, which enraged Jung, and he beat Doshi badly. Jung was about to kill Doshi when the police arrived. Doshi pretended that Jung was trying to kill him, leading to Jung's arrest. Doshi left, but Kim and her mother stayed with Jung. When the police reviewed the CCTV footage, they realized that Kim, her mother, and Jung were telling the truth. Jung resumed his search for his sister, while the police escorted Kim and her mother home. Their house had lights that blinked with any movement. A while later, someone arrived at the door, scaring Kim. It was only her mother's friend, who had come to pick up her belongings. Kim's mother and her friend went downstairs, and during this time, Doshi snuck in and broke the outside sensor. But Kim noticed the inside sensor blinking and realized someone had entered the house. She became alert, but Doshi set off an alarm clock to make her think the sensor was activated by the alarm. Later, when Kim was in her room, Doshi disabled all the outside sensors. Kim messaged Jung because Doshi had cut her cord. Doshi then picked up his axe and prepared to attack. Kim noticed a toy moving, but the sensor didn't activate, so she realized something was wrong. That moment, Doshi attacked, but Kim turned around just in time. She ran to another room and blocked the door with a dresser. She messaged Jung, telling him the killer was there, and also messaged her mother, telling her not to come upstairs. But her mother replied that she was already inside. Kim tried to move the dresser to save her mother, but something about her mother's messages made her suspicious. They were too perfectly spelled. Unlike her mother's usual texts, Kim realized that Doshi had sent the messages, so she stopped. Doshi began breaking down the door, so Kim jumped out of the window and escaped, but Doshi followed her. Just then, Jung arrived and started chasing Doshi. Doshi was about to attack Kim when Jung arrived. Doshi threatened Jung, saying that if he was killed, Jung would never find his sister. Doshi sent Jung a location and told him to choose between Kim and his sister. Jung apologized to Kim and rushed to the location to save his sister, but it was actually Kim's house, and there was no one there. Doshi had lied. Doshi called Jung, taunting him for not saving Kim, but Kim tricked him again and escaped. Kim reached Doshi's van, where Choi came out begging for help. Jung and Kim's mother arrived to find Kim, but no one was there. Choi stopped because she heard Doshi coming. Kim told Choi to call Jung while she picked up a knife and confronted Doshi. She tried to buy time so Jung could arrive and save them. When Doshi lunged at her, Kim hit the alarm and ran again. Choi called Jung, and they sent an ambulance to take Choi to the hospital. Choi guided Jung and Kim's mother to save Kim. Kim ran into a marketplace and tried to ask people for help, but because she couldn't speak, no one paid attention. Doshi got closer, so Kim pulled out her knife. Someone tried to call the police, but Doshi pretended that Kim was his sister and that she was mentally ill. Seeing this, Kim ran again, but soon the police caught her and handed her over to Doshi, believing his story. Doshi took Kim to a dark alley and was about to kill her when Jung arrived just in time and attacked Doshi. They had a fierce fight, but Doshi managed to escape and met Kim's mother in the market. He was about to make her his next victim when Kim came running and stabbed Doshi in the body. But Doshi wasn't hurt and started laughing. Suddenly, Kim collapsed because the knife was in her. Everyone thought Doshi had stabbed her, and just then the police arrived. Seeing them, the police shot Doshi and he died on the spot. Several days later, Kim and his mother went for a walk on the beach. Choi and Jung were also with them, and they all took a picture together. They were all very happy because finally they were successful in defeating a serial killer. If you liked the video, then like it and subscribe the channel. See you in the next video.